What is up, guys? We are back here with a little bit of a different video today. Basically, we're just going to go over the last sold, most recent prices for every single manga that has come out in One Piece, besides PRBO1, because it's basically just a reprint of some other mangas. And there's just really no point going over those. If you want me to go over those, I can in another video. But basically, OP1 all the way to OP16, PRBO1, PRBO2, EBO1, EBO2, EBO3, 25th anniversary collection, everything, we're gonna do it all. There's 35 mangas, not including all the reprints in PRBO1, so it's gonna be quite a bit to talk about. And starting off here is Romance Dawn, OP01. You have the Shanks manga here, PSA 10. I tried to find the most recent sales for every single manga, and I tried to find it in a PSA 10 grading, so some of them I couldn't find. Most recent was like a Beckett or some other stuff, but I tried to keep that as consistent as I could for the whole video. But starting off here, the Shanks, beautiful manga, man. OP1, Romance Dawn, 6,600 US, last sold Wednesday, June 10th, and 2026. Video is obviously 2026. Just crazy, man. Like $6,600 US. Like, I'm Canadian, and my money, that's $9,400, almost $10,000 for the first manga. It is really, really beautiful. And honestly, I think it's kind of underrated. It's just, OP1 is just so expensive to get your hands on it now. Is just, you're going to have to chop off an arm and a leg or be making some serious money. So let's go to our number 2 here, our Paramount Wars. This is OP02 Paramount Wars manga, which is the Ace manga here, which I really love this because a lot of the mangas is just like, you get like that silver background and everything, which is awesome. But I really love the flames on Ace here. Like, this stuff is just so sick. Look at all this. Such a sick manga, man. Paramount War is, not the best set. The early sets have their shine. They have their, they're the first sets of the One Piece TCG. But I personally, you guys might hate me for this, I don't think they really started getting good till OP05, the first anniversary set, is when you really saw pick up. Even Kingdoms of Intrigue a little bit. You really saw pick up in the artwork and it started to really go crazy. 2,200 US, 3,100 Canadian for OP02 Paramount Wars manga, which is the Ace there. Just beautiful card. This is not a PSA 10, obviously. This is a Beckett BGS 10 pristine. Not a black label because it'd be way more, but it's very, very cool. And going into our next here, we have, this manga is not very popular at all. This is Pillars of Strength, which is a sick booster box. I love the color of the booster box. I love everything about it. It just looks awesome. It has a little special place in my heart, this booster box. I was hunting it for a while. I found it finally when I was first getting into One Piece TCG and everything, and I was so happy to make a video on the channel about it. I have a video somewhere if you guys want to go check that out, opening on that. But Soj King, so, Usopp, not the most popular character in the entire cast. He's a Straw Hat Pirate, there from the beginning almost, just not the most popular character, Soj King as well. It is, kind of is what it is. PSA 10, $1,800 or best offer, $1,800 what it's sold for, 2,500 Canadian. It's a pretty cool card. I'm not going to say, honestly, there's no really bad mangas, I feel like. I feel like they all look pretty decent, and they have a lot of stuff going on, especially all the panels in the background. It's just, they're really cool, but definitely not one of the most desirable mangas, that's for sure. So let's move on to OP04 Kingdoms of Intrigue. We have the Sabo manga here, which I think we actually have. Yeah, we have 2 Sabos. We have a Sabo and OP13 that we're going to go over after, but this is pretty cool. Kind of like the same thing with Ace's manga from OP02. Is like you get all the fire and everything, which is nice. You can see all that. I really like the flames in these mangas. They look really cool. And honestly, guys, the one thing I want to say is if you're selling your high rarity, like high tier grail cards on One Piece, take proper pictures. Don't let there be all this like stuff in the background, and just take proper pictures without glare. Your cards will sell for more. It is proven. It's guaranteed. So 1,400 USD for this, 1,900 Canadian. Not really that many. Look, PSA pop, this is what I mean. Like, total PSA pop, 1,800 as time of recording this video. Like, there just isn't a lot of these cards out there, man. Like, you look at some Pokemon chase cards, like the Mega Charizard and stuff from Phantasmal Flames. There's 40,000 copies in a PSA 10. 40K. And that's like all PSA's closed down now. So there's way more copies going to be coming back. Like, this shows you that this stuff is truly rare. Like, 1,500. Like, these cards are hard to pull, man. They're not getting them for very cheap at all. But let's move on here to OP5. So OP5, we're going to have 3 mangas. This is the first anniversary set. Awakening of the New Era, the white box, the Luffy. Everyone loves it. Starting off with the Trafalgar Law, USD 2400 was sold, 33, almost 3400 Canadian. It is a very, very, very nice looking card. Law is awesome. Sick character, sick devil fruit, sick abilities, cool backstory. Like, just what more can we really say about Law? And then we have the Eustace Captain Kid, not on a PSA 10 because there just wasn't really any recent sales, so I just chose the Beckett instead, but they're pretty comparable. Beckett, pristine 10 here. You got the Eustace Kid, which he's a pretty sick character. I like Captain Kid. He's actually all right, man. That metal fruit and everything. Look at that glove, just nuts. I love all the scars. I like this character a lot. I think they just did him really dirty in the show, you know, but it is what it is. This sold for 1,900, 2,600 Canadian, and then we'll move on to our next one in the set. That is our Monkey D. Luffy, which look at the price difference, guys. Look at this price difference: 19,000 US, $27,000 Canadian. PSA 10, Monkey D. Luffy, OP05, Awakening in the New Era, Gem Mint. Look at this thing. Just what a beautiful card, man. What an absolute beauty. He's in Gear 5 there. Fits the set. Very fitting. Beautiful, beautiful card. You even got some of his other forms in Gear 4 over there, which I didn't even notice till right now, to be honest. That's actually pretty sick. You got Bounce Man over there. These mangas are just awesome, man. They're just wildly expensive. Just crazy, right? All right, let's move on to OP06. We have Roronoa Zoro, sold by Probstein Auctions here. This is like one of my personal favorite mangas. I just love Zoro. He's one of my favorite characters. So sick. Has some really beautiful artwork and cards. But let's just look at this thing. Before we look at it, 5,100 US, Sunday, June 21st. So pretty recent sale. Just crazy. 7,200 Canadian. Look at this, man. Look at this Zoro. Beautiful manga. Look at that. You got the sword. You got Enma and everything in the back there. Look at all this. Just nuts. So look at all the hockey even around. Like, I haven't really looked. I mean, I've only pulled one manga, so I haven't really been able to see some of these until you give it a really close look. But like, just look at the detail, man. These cards are they're just unrivaled. I think they're some of the most beautiful cards in the TCG. They're definitely not like the most shiniest and crazy in terms of foiling. Like, you have the OP11 Fist of Divine Speed, SSP Gold and Silver Luffy, which is just, what's a mouthful to say. Those are just like, that's insanity. Like, that's some crazy foiling. But just the stuff, the level of detail that goes into these guys is just, you know, it is just unmatched. Crazy. Moving on to OP07, 500 years in the future. Another crappy picture here, unfortunately, guys. Boa Hancock, PSA 10, $4,600 Canadian. Crazy. Let's look at this because, yeah, look at this. Boa's, you know, fan favorite. All the gooners, all the people, everyone loves Boa, you know. Pretty cool card. I kind of like how the snake has all the different colors as well. It's not in silver. It just makes it really stand out. I'm not like a huge fan of the card, to be honest, but, you know, it's cool for what it is. It's a manga, so what are you going to do? They are just incredibly rare. Cool set. They have the Onami in this set too, which is a really nice card. Moving on to OP08, the dubbed worst set in all of One Piece TCG. Two Legends. Not a lot of people really like this set. You know, is what it is. I think it's a pretty sick set. I'm just kidding. No shit. I don't like this set. I like Silver's Rally though. I like the manga for this set. It's friggin' sick. 792 US, 1100 Canadian. I think this might be the cheapest manga on this entire videos overall. I'm not 100% sure, but man, Silver's Rayleigh. If you guys know anything about the show, if you've watched the show, you read the manga, whatever, you watch movies even, you know how goated Silver's Rayleigh is. He's a friggin' sick character, man. You know, when he comes up and shows Blackbeard, he's showing off all his hockey. When he sees Blackbeard at Amazon Lily, he's just like, you know, it's just crazy, man. It's just awesome. You know, he defends all the Straw Hats too there. And Sabo, it's just such a beautiful card. Really like Rayleigh. Definitely very underrated character, I feel like. Just Two Legends just wasn't really a good set. Honestly, it just kind of sucked, you know. Is what it is. What are you going to do? Moving on to, oh, this is going to be a crazy one. There it is, guys. The Gold Roger Gold manga, which is just insanity. OP09. Oh, gosh, man. What can we say about this? This is just like, oh, gosh. First of all, Emperors in the New World is the set name, if anyone's wondering. Look at this manga. This is like one of the best looking mangas. This isn't the best like picture of it. It kind of looks like yellow, but it really is like very, very golden. If you see like actual better pictures, I don't know, for whatever reason this doesn't really do it this justice, this picture. But just look at this thing, man. PSA 10, $20,000. Most recent sold June 18th. $28,000 Canadian. This manga has a higher rarity than other mangas, especially in the OP09 set. It's very, very, very hard, notoriously hard to pull. It's just a crazy card, man. Let's just look at this. Let's look at all the panels here. Got Gold Roger laughing. You got the Divine Departure right there, sending Odin away, which is crazy. I didn't even know that was on there. And you got the famous mustache, you know. It's just nuts. It's just an insane card. It's just beautiful, man. What else can we say about it? Like, it's $20,000 US. Insane, insane card. So these are all going to be from the same set, OP09. I think there's 5 mangas in total. Moving on to the Luffy here. This is the Luffy manga in the set, which is beautiful. PSA 10. I don't think it's my favorite Luffy. I prefer the Gear 2 Luffy, which I think is the 25th anniversary collection Luffy. But it is some really cool stuff. Like, look at this. Some cool artwork. I just love how the colors pop with the black and white background. It's like, if you guys haven't seen a manga, man, watch some videos. Try to get some really like close-up pictures or videos of it. And you can actually see how beautiful they really are. And if you guys have pulled one, I'm sure you'll agree with me on how beautiful these cards actually are. Still in the same set here, OP09. This is the Shanks. So we have a Luffy, a Shanks, the Gold Roger, the Buggy, and oh, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone, but they'll be up here after this. Shanks, I think I like the first Shanks better, the OP1 Shanks, the original, better than this one. This is a pretty cool one, though. He's got his hand up there. They have SPs on this that have, I think, a gold and silver SP as well of Shanks in this pose, which is pretty cool, but theirs is doing the Divine Departure. Pretty neat. I think I like OP1's Shanks better. Then we have, how could I forget? Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, man. What's wrong with me? So he is the other one. This is all still OP9, by the way. 5 mangas in the set. It has the second most mangas out of any One Piece set. You'll see what has the most. It's hard to believe that a set has more than 5 mangas, which is insane. But, you know, it's beautiful, man. You know, you got Blackbeard here. Crazy character. Like, I think a lot of people hate him, but I kind of like that. You know, that's a good sign. If you have a character that people hate, that means they're doing a good job. You know, it's a good character. For the most part, not always. 3,800 US. Crazy. 5,500 Canadian. And I'm going to go back here for a second because I forgot to go over the sales price here. Sorry, guys. 4,000 Great British Pounds. So basically 7,400 Canadian. This is UK money, obviously. Where are we there? And then we go to the Shanks, 2,500 US, 3,600 Canadian. Sorry, I just wanted to go back because I forgot to show the prices there. But yeah, 5,500 Canadian, 3,800 US for the Blackbeard OP09 manga. And then the last one in OP09 is the Buggy. For whatever reason, I feel like this one just stands out more. I don't know, man. It's just... It's like, just look at it. This is the same picture. Some of you guys probably are looking at this and you're like, oh, I've kind of seen that before. The SPs in OP14, the Azure C7, the gold and silver Buggy. This is like the same thing. They just took out the background and did some other stuff, which, to be honest, is kind of lazy. But, you know, it is what it is. Those are beautiful cards, too. 2,300 US, $3,300 Canadian. We are going to be moving on to OP10 Royal Blood, our second Law manga. We had the Law manga in OP5, as you guys seen earlier. This is another Law. This is the only manga in Royal Blood. It's a pretty cool set. $1,200 USD, 1,700 Canadian. Pretty cheap manga. Maybe the second cheapest we've seen so far. Pretty cool card. We do not have a right. He's just saying all the stuff from the show. It's a nice card, man. People that love Law, they will love this card. They'll appreciate it. I like Law. I don't love him. He's not like my crazy favorite character. He is a pretty cool character, cool abilities. I can appreciate the card. Moving on to OP11, Fist of Divine Speed. So this is a very interesting one because not a lot of people like this Luffy card here, this Luffy manga. And I feel like it's very undervalued compared to some of the other Luffy ones. So I feel like this is going to have a come up in the future. But let's look at this. 2,400 US, most recent sold. 3,400 Canadian. It's a sick card, man. You have Luffy and Snake, man. Like, what else can you really say? Look at this form. I think Snake Man was definitely... We didn't get to see too much of it, but it was a pretty cool form. Like, look at this. He's just... Look at that. Just, man, it's just a really nice card. Honestly, it just is. Look at that. He's all beat up there versus Katakuri. He has to break this out to turn the tide. That was the only way. And he probably still would have lost. Katakuri didn't injure himself. But anyways, moving on to... This is probably the first manga on the list I really don't like. I'm not a big fan of Jewelry Bonney. I don't know, for whatever reason. 1,100 US, 1,600 Canadian, 2,200 PSA 10 pop. So 2,500 PSA 10 pop. Pretty high gem rate, which usually all mangas and One Piece cards typically have. Not always the case, but PSA 10. Jewelry Bonney manga. Like I said, not the biggest fan. It's still cool. They got Kuma in the background there with her. He's all happy. It's still a cool card. Like, we're not gonna say it's not. It's a manga. It's sick, but just not my favorite personally. You guys feel free to feel different about that. This is OP 12, A Legacy of the Master. Sorry guys, I stuttered there for a second. Moving on to The set of One Piece, the S tier, the premier set. Oh gosh, this is going to take a while. We have 6 mangas, guys, in this set. 6. It is the most, by far, out of any set. Let's get into it. Starting off with, there it is. You know, one of the most expensive cards that you can pull in One Piece is sold by Probstein Auctions here. $40,000 US, $57,000 Canadian. Most recent sale. There was some sales for more, but I like just going on the most recent stuff to keep up with the market. I don't want to cherry pick the most expensive sale from like a year ago. Like, what's the point of showing you guys that? Just crazy. June 22nd at time of recording is the one that was the most recent sale. Just look at it, man. It's a red manga. Like, it's insane. They're nuts. I've seen a couple of these in person, and I don't think that they're the best looking cards or the best mangas for that matter, but I'm not going to say they're not bad looking. They're friggin' beautiful, man. They are nice cards. They're really, really nice cards. They're just, you know, incredibly rare, harder to pull than the base version mangas of them in this set. It's just nuts. So let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the Ace here, red manga Ace, which is just, you know, same stuff. 10,000 Australian this time for a PSA 9. I just realized that this was a PSA 9. I looked around. I didn't see any super recent auctions for a PSA 10, so just keep that in mind that you're probably going to end up being even more expensive for a PSA 10. It is, like, look at this, 10K for a 9, 9,900 Canadian for a PSA 9. I feel bad for the guy who got this graded and got a 9, honestly. That sucks. But, like, you know, someone's got to get the 9s, 90% gem rate. You got to be that one person out of 10. You know, it sucks, but it is what it is. Look at this. Just crazy. Beautiful card. Ace is definitely a fan favorite character. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Fire Fist Ace, look at that. Yeah, and let's go to Sabo. We have the gold manga. What am I saying? Red manga, sorry. Sabo here. Definitely the cheapest out of the 3 characters. Definitely the least popular out of the 3 characters, so it makes sense. $7,500 USD. $10,000. $10,600 Canadian. Crazy. Let's take a look at this thing. You know, you got all the panels there in the background with all of them sleeping when they're all kids and everything, doing all the cool stuff. It's cool that he inherited Ace's fruit. You know, it's pretty sick. So, but yeah, so that's going to be it for the red mangas. Now, we have the other 3 mangas in the set. So it's basically just the same thing. They've just changed some stuff around. I think they've changed the panels. Let me see. Have they changed the panels? Yeah, so the panels are different. So at least it's not a copy and paste of the same thing, because that would be pretty lazy. So it is different panels in the background, which is pretty cool. Luffy manga. Definitely one of the nicer ones, but you know, when you see this, you just want the red one. You know, it's just, it is what it is. 4,600 US, 6,500 Canadian. Pretty nice card. Moving on to Porcus D Ace, PSA 10 this time. 2175 USD, 3,000 Canadian. Just crazy. I feel like these are underrated. I feel like because they have the red version manga in the set, right? It makes me feel like that everyone just forgot about the other ones. Like, you tell people about it, like, oh, do you think OP13? You think red manga right away in your head. Red manga. And then people forget that, yo, there's the base versions too. So I feel like these are underrated, and you could probably pick these up, like, you know, like soon, and you'd probably cook on them long term. Honestly, I feel like you would. So, you know, not market advice, just saying that's what my personal opinions are. Free to disagree, but, you know, it is what it is. Moving on to Sabo, you know, regular manga here. Pretty cool, different panels and everything in the back. Some reused ones, but, you know, it is pretty cool. 2,100 Australian, 2,150 Australia for PSA 10, 2,100 Canadian. You know, pretty crazy. I didn't even know the Canadian and Australian dollar were so similar. Wow, we are getting destroyed. We got to figure out our dollar system. But anyways, okay, so we're going to move on to, we're leaving OP13 now. That's the 6 mangas down. We're going into OP14, the Azura's C7, the first Mihawk manga, which is pretty cool. You know, I think Mihawk definitely deserves a manga. He's a sick character. You know, greatest swordsman in the show. We just like to see some more feats from him. You know, I think everyone feels the same way. We just want to see him do a bit more, right? Fight a couple more top tier, you know, combatants, and just, you know, we want to see a little bit more. People want to see a little more. I think that's fine. How long's One Piece been out? We haven't really seen too much from Mihawk. $1,000 US, 1,500 Canadian. Definitely one of the cheaper mangas on the list. Might not be a bad pickup. OP14 is a sleeper set. OP14 and 15, man, very sleeper sets, at least I think. So, moving on to OP15, we have 2 mangas in this set. First one, PSA 10, Anel, 2450 US, 3,400 Canadian. Look at this Anel. You know, I feel really bad for the people that skip Skypiea. Yeah, there's a long, drawn-out arc, but you know, it had its charm. It's definitely worth watching. Even if you only watch it once and you want to rewatch the show and you skip it the second time, you should watch it once. There's some pretty cool fights and stuff in it. So I know. Definitely an interesting character, very interesting character. And then the other manga in the set is the Kobe. So we have the Kobe here, which a lot of people don't like. I just feel like Kobe has so many more cool poses and stuff he's done in the show than to just give him this pose where he's carrying his chain. Like, I just feel like it was such a poorly executed pose to put on a manga card. But, you know, is what it is. Maybe some people like it. I'm just not a big fan of it, personally. 1,300 US, 1,900 Canadian. Now we're moving on to the most recent sets, guys. We have the Sakazuki. I could not find PSA 10s of these cards because they're still so new. At least at time of recording of this video, the set's been out for like, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks or now or something. So I just don't think anything's even come back from PSA. There might be some stuff. Maybe you guys will find after this video goes out and you'll be like, hey, you know, you missed some stuff. I probably did, maybe. But I couldn't find anything. $1,500 raw. US, 2,100 Canadian, almost 2,200 Canadian, sold June 21st. It's a pretty cool card. You know, people aren't really gonna like this character. I don't want to say too much because I feel bad for people that haven't watched the show. But if you're watching this video and you're looking at all these cards, you probably should watch the show because, you know, you won't really understand why the cards like are sick if you don't watch the show. So I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do, but you know, there's gonna be some more spoilers. So I'm just giving you a heads up, I guess. Yeah, pretty sick card. Moving on to, there's 3 mangas in the set, OP16. Moving on to the Kuzan, which is very interesting. I think the Sakazuki is the most expensive still. Yeah, most recent sale. So you got 1,400 US, 1,900 Canadian. You got Ice Age there, a little freezing everyone. The Iceman himself, Kuzan. Cool character. I like Kuzan. I dig him. He's pretty decent. And I think my favorite out of the Admiral is actually this guy here, which is Borsellino. $2,000 Australian, 1,900 Canadian, most recent sale. I like Borsellino. He's my favorite out of the 3 Admirals. I just think he's like just so like chill, just kind of like doing his own thing at his own pace, and you know he's, you know, maybe some people feel differently, especially what happened with Vegapunk. But you know, I like Kizaru. I think he's pretty sick, pretty cool. The light fruit or whatever it's called, the light fruit is just so overpowered. He's so quick. It's just kind of nuts to be honest. But sick card. Now we're getting into the specialty sets. So we just finished OP1 through 16. Now we're going to go over all the other mangas that are in the extra boosters, the PRBs, and everything. So we have here, this is EB01 Chopper PSA 10, which is a very, very rare card. This is this Memorial Collection, I think the set is called? I can't remember. I think it's Memorial Collection. I'm pretty sure it is. Crazy, man. You got the Chopper manga, you know, one of the most lovable characters. People love Chopper. They love the Chopper cards. You got the Santa Chopper. You got a bunch of other stuff. Just sick. Like, just look at this character. Just look at him. Look at him go. Look at the panels in the background. Look at this one with his mouth just screaming. Just awesome. There, Dr. Hero or whatever the hell his name is. I definitely butchered that. Please don't roast me. Is what it is. But yeah, going for 6,500 US, $9,200. This box is like $1,500 Canadian. I did a video on it. It's on the channel. It's just a crazy expensive box. A really cool looking box. So small set. And then we have our, I think this is going to be EB02. Yeah, EB02, so the 25th anniversary collection. This is definitely one of the better Luffy mangas, because I think there's like 3 or 4 of them now in total, which is crazy. But he is the main character of the show, so it makes sense you should get him. PSA 10, $10,000 US, $1,500 Canadian. This is sick. So this is the Gear 2 pose. They have the alt art Gear 2. Which comes from OP11, Fist of Divine Speed. I actually pulled that card. It is such a beautiful card. It's so nice. That thing's picking up a ton of traction too. I actually think it looks better than this personally, but you know, is what it is. This is obviously more rare. Crazy card. You know, you got a Year 2 going on in the background, all the manga panels, like everything else. It's pretty crazy. So moving on to our EB03, the Heroines Edition, and we have the Uta manga, which, man, I don't care for Uta at all. She is just not a character I really... Same with Bonney. I don't know. I just don't really care for them, to be honest. Not to have anything against the women, just not for me. But PSA 10 Uta, $2,000 US, 2,900 Canadian. Pretty cool. You know, obviously from the movie. If you guys have seen the movie and everything, you have all the musical notes and everything in the manga panels in the back. So moving on to, so this is from PRB01. Okay, so some of you guys might get mad at me. I just want to say this first. There is a God Pack in the set where you get, I think it's mangas from OP1 through like 9, I think, or something like that, or maybe up to 10 or 11. So you get all those other mangas in the God Pack, but this is the manga that's, you can only pull those mangas in a God Pack. So this manga you can pull from all other packs. If you get the God Pack, you're going to get this in it as well, and you're going to get plus all the other reprinted mangas from the other sets. The only reason I didn't pull up the prices here, it's a pain. You already seen all the other ones. You don't want to see me talk and go back through all the reprinted ones. You know, maybe you do. If you guys really do feel like that, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to do something for next time we look over that stuff, or I'll keep it in mind. But $3,900 US, $5,500 Canadian. Nami manga. What is it? You know, Nami, one of the most, you know, likable characters, the most friggin' thirst trap characters in the show. You know, like, you know, it is what it is. Ship's navigator. We be my servant, all this stuff. You know, it's Nami. You know, people love Nami. She's a character, right? And well, that is it for EBO. What is that? Is this EBO 2? EBO 2. So then, oh, sorry. What am I saying, guys? Sorry. That's PRBO 1. So then we have our final manga, which is PRBO 2, the Sanji. I think this is underrated. $4,800 US, $8,400 Canadian. Which I feel like this doesn't make sense. MXN. Sorry, guys. I don't even know what MXN is. I'm completely... My bad. My bad. That is just something else. $4,800 US. That's probably going to be like 62 or 6,300 Canadian, whatever it is. I'll put it on the screen, whatever. I'm not sure exactly what it is off the top of my head. But, you know, it is pretty cool. It is, you know, it's a nice one. What are you going to do? You know, you got the glowing leg here. Like, look at that. Look at that kick. Look at the friggin', what's it called? The Enjamble or something? Yeah, you can see it there. It is just... You know, it's a nice card, man. It really is a really, really, really nice card. I love the blue. I love when they have different colors in the background. Like the blue just really, and you know, it's a blue Sanji card as well. So it all just like just feels like it's right. You know what I mean? It's just awesome. But that is going to be it for the video, guys. This is a total of 35 different mangas. And you know what? I don't really know if you guys want me to pronounce it manga. I'm going to keep calling it manga. That's what I like to call it. Manga. If you're sad, sorry, is what it is, you know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be back with some more market update videos. I'm going to try to get them out weekly. Just different stuff, you know, trying something different, something new. 35 unique manga/mangas that you can pull. Oh my gosh, if someone does a master set of like every... And that's not even including the PRBO1 reprints. If you want to include those two, it's like probably 45 or whatever it is. It's just crazy. And there's going to be more in the upcoming set in OP17. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.